guys, it's Emma and I'm back today for you with another video, and today's gonna be a doozy, all right, because we are doing a rant review on a book that is from my favorite series of all time. And the book that we are going to be ranting about today, ladies and gentlemen, is SkyClan's Destiny. All right, SkyClan's Destiny, it follows Firestar's quest, which I have not read, so shoot. It's kind of like a sequel type thing where now we just follow Leafstar and the rest of SkyClan trying to find their footing as the fifth clan after Firestar and Sandstorm have left. And it just them and dealing with all the shenanigery that happens. This is probably, I think, the fourth Warriors Super Edition that I've read. I've read Blue Star's Prophecy, Yellow Fang's Secret, and Crooked Star's Promise. All of them were okay. This one is the worst by far. Quite honestly, I would take the liberty to say that this is probably my least favorite Warriors book in total. This video is going to be full of spoilers, so if you haven't read this and want to read this, then I wouldn't watch this video. But if you haven't read this and you don't really care, or if you have read this and you want to watch this video, please by all means stay tuned, right? We're going to be talking about all of the things that I just did not like about this book, because quite honestly this book made me incredibly angry. Most of the bulk of this video is going to be about the characters, so that's it. And before we start, I want you guys to comment down below what y'all's favorite Warrior Cats character is, what y'all's favorite book is, maybe what y'all thought about this book, you know, the usual. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So the writing for SkyClan's Destiny isn't necessarily outstanding. Does that does that make sense? It's not bad, but it's not really like fantastic either. It's the same as any other Warrior Cats book. The writing is relatively good. It's really easy to read. It flows really nicely. It carries you through the action sequences. It's pretty decent writing. The prologue especially was very well done. It's probably the only prologue that has actually garnered any emotion from me in any Warrior Cats books, because it dealt with the old SkyClan disbanding, like you actually saw them go their separate ways, and it was genuinely really sad. Like, I didn't expect to be feeling as emotional as I was by the end of that prologue. I was like, damn! And it really set the tone for how important it was that SkyClan be rebuilt. Now, the plot, the main plot, I guess, of the book got introduced maybe like halfway through it. There really, most of it was character driven, which is due to the fact that most of the characters in here drove me fucking nuts. There's only maybe like 3 characters that I genuinely liked above everybody else. Everybody else drove me nuts. But we're gonna talk about them now, and I'm gonna talk about them each individually because there's enough, you know? The first speed bump that we're gonna get over here is Sharpclaw. Sharpclaw was the most infuriating son of a bitch I think I've ever read in a Warrior Cats book, which says a lot. What makes SkyClan really different from the other 4 clans is that they take in more loners, rogues, and kitty pets than the average clan does. They have this special, I guess, specification towards kitty pets or house pets that want to stay in the clan during the day but then go back to their housefolk at night. They call them daylight warriors, right? Well, a lot of the actual clan-born cats don't really care for the daylight warriors because they see it kind of as like they having their cake and eating it too, which I can understand. However, the length to which Sharpclaw goes to discriminate and undermine not only the daylight warriors but a bunch of other people in this book too is unbelievable. His use of slurs in this book, which I can only account to be slurs because the actual term is daylight warrior, but instead he changes it to kitty warrior, and it's italicized, and the tone with which it's used, it's like the only thing that could be is the fact that the deputy was doing it, all of the other cats followed his example and continued the discrimination against these daylight warriors, and not only discrimination, but the harassment against them as well. It was infuriating to watch it happen so many times. The disrespect, just the utter disrespect that Sharpclaw had for Leafstar, his leader, throughout the book it made me so angry. Like, he flat out disagreed with her and told her, no, this is what we're doing instead of what you're suggesting. We're not even going to speculate about what you said. We're doing what I want to do. All right, Cherrytail and her peanut gallery of a brother follow his example right afterwards. He not only disrespects Leafstar, but he undermines her at every chance he gets. The major thing that pisses me off about Sharpclaw is the fact that he literally went behind her back. When he and Stick were sending out patrols at night to the two-leg place behind her back and didn't tell her anything of the sort. When Leafstar finally called him out about the two-leg patrols, he didn't act like he had done anything wrong. He was just like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing, what about it?
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
At the very end of this book, Leafstar finally confronts him about all the times he disrespected her in front of everybody, mind you, and all the times that he undermined her in front of everybody, mind you. And his excuse was so lame. His excuse was literally, I did all this to make you a stronger leader and to see if you were actually worth being a leader, seeing if you would actually challenge me or doing something like that. Bitch! That is the exact same energy as somebody pranking their significant other with like a cheating thing, and their excuse being like, oh, I wanted to see if you actually loved me, or like if you actually cared about me. So Sharpclaw can choke. And all the other SkyClan cats that joined in on Sharpclaw's discrimination and harassment and utter disrespect of everybody else, they all can join in on the asphyxiation. Leafstar. Oh, Leafstar, my poor sweet summer child. I don't know what happened to Leafstar, because at the beginning of the book, before all the problems happened, she was good. Like, she was a good character. I wanted to continue to like Leafstar. However, she continued to be a doormat to not only the disrespect that Sharpclaw gave her to her face and all the other clan members that joined in with him, but the utter discrimination against the warriors that she let into the clan in the first place, that are her responsibility. Basically, at this point on page 130, the example that I want to give y'all, at this point there's been this gigantic human waste dump that have attracted all these rats, and SkyClan has a bad reputation with rats. So Stick and the other cats from Two Leg Place that have come in and temporarily joined the clan, they are teaching SkyClan how to deal with the rats Two Leg Place style, right? And they are building this gigantic waste pile, like, out of sticks and stuff to practice on. You know, training is going very well. All the cats are involved. Everybody's participating. We love to see it. But then Leafstar says, that looks great, she mewed, not wanting to seem as if she begrudged the praise for the visitors' help. But the clan still has mouths to feed. Some cats need to go on a hunting patrol. Sparrowpelt will— No! Sharpclaw interrupted. Every cat has to stay here for Stick's battles training. We need to restock the fresh kill pile, she declared firmly. Stick can hold another training session in the morning. But we don't want to hunt, Cherrytail objected. We want to learn to fight rats. Yes, that's more important than our next meal, Sparrowpelt agreed. All of y'all need attitude checks. The hell is wrong with y'all? Oh my lord. That is one of the first examples of the disrespect, okay? You gotta sit through like an entire, like at least 230 pages more of that. Honestly, every single one of her clanmates needed an attitude check. Fast. And that is honestly one of the few examples where she actually like bucks up and says something back. Otherwise, she talks to herself, right? She'll have her inner monologue regarding the situation that's just happened. Maybe like, you know, a slur has been thrown at the Daylight Warriors. Maybe they're being left out of something. Maybe Sharpclaw has just disrespected her. She'll like come to these naive conclusions and naive reassurances that everything is fine. Actually, everything's fine. Somebody else will resolve it. Like, I'm glad I don't have to get into the bickering. Bitch, you're clan leader. Your job is to keep dissent from running amok throughout your people, throughout your responsibility. She put way too much shit on the back burner, and because she never spoke up, because she would only speak up in her mind, she therefore enabled the discrimination and the harassment against these Daylight Warriors. An example of her actually just putting it on the back burner and not really doing anything is the rat attack. After Styx, you know, mentoring of everybody with the waste pile, they're actually going to go and attack the rats, right? But what they had agreed with the Daylight Warriors was, hey, we'll attack tomorrow night, so that way y'all can schedule and be there and be involved in the attack. So Leafstar's asleep the night before, right? And Sharpclaw comes in and goes, hey, come on, we're actually gonna attack tonight. And Leafstar's like, well, wait a minute, what about the Daylight Warriors? They're not here, they don't know about it. And Sharpclaw's like, that's their problem. And Leafstar goes with it. And the entire time, she's walking down with Sharpclaw to go get everybody else. She's thinking to herself, Sharpclaw was right, this is a good night to attack. But deep inside, she still knew that this wasn't right. Then don't let Sharpclaw bitch you into decisions that you know aren't right. It was a disappointment to see not only, I think, one of the first female leaders that we actually get a POV from, but a disappointment at the fact that she started off so strong at the beginning until a social problem hit the clan. Every single social divide and every single social dissent that happened, it was Sharpclaw's fault. And Leafstar didn't do anything about it. Now, Shrewtooth. I want to talk about Shrewtooth. Shrewtooth was one of my favorites. I adored Shrewtooth. Okay, he was skittish and he was shy and he was prone to spouts of paranoia, plainly because of the fact that he had endured trauma and abuse at the hands of the two-leg that they ultimately attacked in the book, right? What pisses me off about Shrewtooth and his treatment was because he was paranoid, right? And because he was so skittish and shy and nervous, ultimately, he was ostracized by SkyClan. He was given weird looks. He was scolded whenever he would like freak out over a loud noise or anything. It just made me angry at the fact that he was treated like that. Ultimately, it is extremely hilarious that it took Shrewtooth having a literal psychotic breakdown at the sight of the two-legs house for all of SkyClan to actually treat him with some regular decency. All right? Granted, they didn't know about his trauma. And I can understand that. However, you don't need to know what someone has gone through in their life to treat them with basic respect. Anyone that had an interaction with the Daylight Warriors and Shrewtooth were fake. Now, the other characters, there's nothing really much to say about them. Ebony Claw, loved her so much respect for her. She took everything in stride. We love her. We got a cameo of Bluestar, Snowfur, and White Storm that I almost had a heart attack over because, as I said in my discussion video for the first sub-series, White Storm was one of my favorite characters of all time. And we get the cameo on page 217 and 218 when Leafstar's having a dream and all these StarClan cats are around her. In the lead was a dignified she-cat, her dense blue-gray fur shimmering with starlight. Behind her came a graceful white she-cat with gray tips to her ears and a powerful white tom. And by this point, I was like, oh my gosh! The OGs are back and they're better than ever, bitches. White Storm came through. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to, okay? Now, the other SkyClan cats, like I said, that had an interaction with a Daylight Warrior or Shrewtooth, I didn't give a rat's ass about them. just plainly because they were all fake and they didn't have enough character development to be anything but fake, quite honestly. Now, the two-leg place cats, I didn't really care about them. They ended up being flippy floppy, and you know what? They had their reasons, but I don't really care. Red was really the only one that I felt genuinely any emotion towards. Red was Stick's daughter and ultimately another one of the two-leg place cats, because the two-leg place cats, they had their own thing, right? So it was Stick and his group, and then Dodge and his group, and they were going at it, and then Stick's daughter Red went with Dodge's group because she fell in love with a cat from Dodge's group, and Stick was overcome with anger and he was like, you stole her, when in fact she really did. It was a whole thing. Basically, Red, she's a bitch. All right, I don't care. I hated her because at the end of the day, when she finally left and made her leave and made her break from Stick and the rest of his group, Dodge had like set up an attack with like to get the two legs to go and basically chase Stick and his group out, and Red left them. Red knew about the attack because her boyfriend had told her and was like, here, I'm gonna get you out of there before anything happens. So she left and left everybody else to be beaten to death by two legs. And then at the very end, Stick and Dodge are like going at it, right? Everybody's just watching them. All the SkyClan cats are there because, you know, Stick and his friends have bought them to go and fight Dodge and his cats. So Stick and Dodge are going at it, and then all of a sudden Red and her boyfriend come in magically, and Red's like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing here? And Stick is like, I'm rescuing you. And everybody's like, oh no, Honeycomb, you're just making a fool of yourself. And so Red's like, I wasn't stolen, I left of my own accord. So Stick is about to pounce and kill Red's boyfriend because he is still under the presumption that Red's boyfriend stole her, but in fact he didn't. So Red jumps in front of Stick, and Stick ultimately kills his own daughter. And so she's laying out on the ground and she dies, and that's all we see of Red's death. I didn't like the bitch, all right? But is nobody gonna talk about Red's death? Now the ending. Thinking about Red's death, right? And how just unexplained it was. It was rushed. It was very, very rushed. Not only with Red's death, but just the ensuing battle between Dodge, Stick, and the SkyClan cats was rushed. It was like, it just felt like they took so much time trying to build up character development that quite honestly only went to Leafstar and her abilities of being an even stronger and more durable doormat. But other than that, nothing really happens in this book until maybe like halfway through. And this book is like maybe 40 something pages shy of being 500 pages. All in all, I gave SkyClan's Destiny 2 stars. It was an incredibly underwhelming book, let alone an underwhelming Warriors book. It was just disappointing all in all because it was SkyClan. It dealt with SkyClan, one of the most mysterious aspects of the Warriors series as a whole. And I was just incredibly let down. So you guys, that was my rant review for SkyClan's Destiny. Wow, does it feel good to get that off my chest, because I was so angry just reading it, and I don't think that's healthy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys will comment down below what y'all's favorite Warrior Cats character is, what your favorite Warriors book is, how y'all thought of SkyClan's Destiny, what you thought of what I talked about in this video. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.